encourage all of you to go to YouTube and search for Radha Gopinath Media, RG Media, and then search for dramas. You'll see about 70 dramas. They are like, excellent. They are like, professional, very, very professional. They are like, better than any movie that you can see these days. Very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dadamayam Dadati Swapadadikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripata Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very, very much for coming on a working day. Just a few minutes back, we were at your proposed site of the new temple, and our hearts blossomed in joy. We had seen the proposed land. We came 2 years back, and there was only gravel and mud and nothing else. But today we saw a structure there coming up, and it gives us great joy to see that the seed planted by Prabhupada in 1969 at OSU in the Hitchcock Hall, when Prabhupada came here, attended by 2,000 young students at that time, when Prabhupada was there on the planet. And that seed planted has now blossomed into a beautiful, nice temple, which I'm hearing from the devotees and council members that it will be ready for public to attend. Haribol. Any around by next year. So that is even making it more exciting. Haribol! Haribol! All we are excited? Hare Krishna. Are we okay with this?
Yeah,
Is also excited. Hare Krishna. Okay. Haribol. Haribol. Very moody. Huh?
let's not touch it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thoda sa, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Knobs are problem.
Let's not touch it. Let's not touch for next 1 hour.
Dear devotees, this particular year has been very special in many ways. For all of you, it was the coming of Trump. Special, but I'm not talking politically. But one of the most important events which had a global impact, and just in the first quarter of this particular year, 2025, is the largest gathering of human beings on the planet at the Holy Kumbh Mela. Did some of you go from here, America? You went? Yeah, Hare Krishna.
At one of the Varanasi residents' house.
Yes.
His house is in Priya.
Huh?
He lives in Priya.
He lives in Priya. Hare Krishna. Yes. So, one of my patients told me that that something like 67 crore people. Can you even imagine that number? Right? It's a mammoth of a number. Never heard before in any human gathering, practically. That's a staggering figure.
670 million.
Huh?
670 million.
Yeah, 6 million.
670.
Yeah. So that's a mammoth figure which happened, and so many people came there. So why do people come to? Why do you think is this huge amount of attraction to come to this place of Kumbh Mela? What draws such huge? Almost half the human civilization was there, almost like that, right?
Half of India.
Why do people gather in such large amounts there? What brings people there? Huh?
They get moksha.
Moksha. People come for moksha. What else?
What are the benefits?
What are the benefits of coming to Kumbh Mela? See, people are going there, they have got various ideas, various thoughts, various purposes to be fulfilled. What is the thoughts?
They get purified.
Yeah, to
The sins
cleanse.
are washed away.
Yeah,
Association.
cleanse.
They come for association, they come for eradication of their sins. Everyone knows we are all, we loaded with sinful actions from the past life, this life, etc. So they want to get purified, correct? Association is there. What else?
Auspicious time and location.
Auspiciousness. They want to add more auspiciousness to their life, correct?
It's very, very rare occasion.
Yeah, because it comes once.
144.
This particular one was 144 years, right? So only once you can have that. Unless somebody lives like Jagannath Babaji Maharaj, who lived for 145 years. You get only once in your lifetime. Correct. So there are many such holy things happening. People want to associate. There is a natural attraction in our country to meet sadhus, right? And so many sadhus come. Some may be fake, but not everyone is like that. There are a lot of sadhus who come there. So it fosters in people's hearts the spirit of renunciation, of living a more minimalistic, simple life. People come for experiencing just the fact that so many people are there, and then there's going to be bhandaras and festivities and holy music and dances and cultural activities. So there are so many reasons why people come there. And just when you imagine the collective synergy of the spiritual energy created and the power of the combined faith of so many people coming together, can you imagine the power of that? Everyone's coming with some Shraddha. You have some Shraddha, some small, microscopic Shraddha, but when that comes huge, the power of that combined Shraddha can have practically a huge effect on the entire cosmos, entire universe. So it is a very, very powerful event. Now, for most of us here, us who are students of Bhakti, students of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, it's a powerful holy place, Prayagraj, where the three rivers meet together. But What is the definition according to Prabhupada of a holy place?
The devotees.
Holy people.
Holy people live.
Transformation. Transformation.
There is transformation, correct? Is Columbus a holy place?
Yes.
No. Yes. Very tricky question, right?
Prabhupada came here.
Prabhupada gave you. Right. Correct. So, in fact, Prabhupada's definition is very, very pertinent. Very nice definition. Wherever people, bhavik bhavik means those who have shraddhalu vyakti, people who have shraddha, they come together for remembering Krishna, for chanting his holy names, for hearing his beautiful transcendental glories, for partaking of Krishna's remembrance as prasad. Right? Wherever these activities take place, that place becomes a holy place. Right? To that extent, today we are all gathered over here. We may be about 30-40 people, devotees over here. But from Prabhupada's point of view, today we are sitting and to hear Hari Katha. Right? This has become a holy place. Right? So, that is the whole purpose. We want to go to holy places because that holiness in the environment created by the synergy of so many Shraddhalu people has a deep, as he said, transformative effect on our heart. We don't just come for a ritualistic presence just for coming in. We come for the impact of creating about what is called as a transformation of our consciousness. So, what happens in this transformation? To what extent this transformation can take place, and what is the ultimate climax of that transformation is very interesting to know.
So one time our spiritual master Radhanath Swami, he was living in Vrindavan for some time. And at Vrindavan, on the banks of Yamuna, he met one Baba. You know, Vrindavan is full of so many Babas, right? So he met one Baba who was a Mauni Baba. You know what's a Mauni Baba? Doesn't talk. So whatever he wants to communicate, not that because you don't talk, you don't communicate. So he would write on a slate. So when he saw a foreigner, in those days foreigners were very rare, no? Now you see Vrindavan is full of foreigners, but that time not so many foreigners were coming. So when he saw Maharaj, that time he was a visitor. So he asked him that people all over the world think that Brijvasis are crazy. Then he rubbed it off from the slate. And he wrote, do you think we are crazy? Now, if Maharaj is first time meeting somebody and if such a question is asked, he didn't want to offend him. No? So Maharaj said, I don't know. So then this Baba wrote on the slate, we are crazy. And then he rubbed out and he said, in fact, if you will stay longer over here, he rubbed it out, you will also become crazy. So he said, then he again rubbed it out and he said, the whole world is crazy. Then he rubbed it out. But the question is, crazy for what? That is the question. Crazy for what? Crazy for whom? Some people are crazy for money, some people are crazy for sense gratification, some people are different things, crazy for food, different things people are crazy for. They're saying, but we Brijvasis, we are crazy after Krishna. And then Maharaj narrated a beautiful Leela, that one time in Nanda Bhavan, you know what is Nanda Bhavan? Parikshit, what is Nanda Bhavan? House of Nanda Maharaj. So they had a joint family, right? They were all staying. There are 5 brothers. Does anybody know the names of all the 5 brothers? You know the name of the eldest brother? Upananda. So Upananda is the eldest brother, so he called a meeting of all the Brijvasis. It was like a head, like a sarpanch type of So he called and he's saying, today we are meeting here to discuss a very, very, very serious problem that is happening in Braj. Management meeting.
Even they used to have.
Then it was a board meeting. Whatever. So they said, we have to discuss a very, very serious problem. And he said, our Krishna, he is such a great person. Either he is Vishnu or Shiva or Brahma or a big yogi. Because look what he is doing, what all activities he does. He has lifted Govardhan hill. Right? He killed so many demons. He has uprooted the Yamalarjun trees at that age. You know, he's doing all these big, big things. And look at how your wife treats him. He's telling Nanda Maharaj, look at how your wife Yashoda treats him. Sometimes she twists his ears. Sometimes she ties him up. Sometimes she chases him with a stick. What does she think she is? All this has to stop. He made a comment. This all has to stop because Krishna is such a great person and is this how she treats? And Nanda Maharaj looked at everybody and straight in Upanand's eyes and what did he say? I think you people are in a grand illusion. And you people are in a grand illusion. You say Krishna is great. What are the qualities of a great person? He's sense controlled. Do you know how much my son eats? 56 times in a day he eats. Plus sometimes he goes and steals in somebody's house. He's a great person. Great person. I think great person do tapasya. My child cannot stand still for a moment. Even Hiranyakashipu did a better job than him. He could stand for thousands of years and you say he's a great person. Great people are fearless. They are abhay. Right? Yeah, there is a thundering and lightning in the sky and he comes and runs in my wife's sari. You say Krishna is a great person, huh? Not only that, great persons are always honest and truthful. My son lies. He eats dirt and when my wife catches him, he says, I didn't eat dirt. So all these are symptoms of great person and you are saying he's a great person. You don't understand, you can't understand. You don't understand, you can't understand because you don't live with him. And while saying, he kept on describing so many factors that he started laughing. And by his laughing, everybody in Braj started laughing and they were rolling on the ground and laughing. And whole day they were discussing what? Krishna Katha. This is crazy. Isn't this crazy? Whole time they are just landed up discussing about Krishna this, Krishna that, Krishna this, right? So we understand that what is the purpose of our life? To be Krishna conscious and they have attained it already. So they are in the perfection of yoga. This is samadhi, what we are talking of, right? And this is, actually that is their only business. This is the samam bonam which anybody can think of reaching and they already got that real nectar. So the real yogis are who? The bhakti yogis. So when you go even to Kumbh Mela, right? Prabhupada made all these ISKCON temples where all those benefits which you mentioned about Kumbh Mela, purification, transformation, whatever you spoke about, association of sadhus and all, you are getting sitting in one place in every ISKCON temple without having to go to Priya and do all that. Isn't it? What a shortcut Prabhupada gave. So when we are talking, we are bhakti yogis, there are different words given for bhakti. Sometimes we call bhakti as kevala bhakti, shuddha bhakti, ananya bhakti, right? That's what all these people had attained in Braj. What did they have? Braj bhakti. Right? They had, so many names are given, ananya bhakti, ahaituki bhakti. All these are the different names given to what the bhakti yogis are practicing. That is bhakti yogi, and it is so simple for the Brijvasis. They don't have to study shastras or anything, right?
So the process of bhakti, as explained by Srila Prabhupada, is more like a refinery. ISKCON is like a refinery. What does a refinery mean? Refinery is a place where you collect all ore, iron ore, bauxite, nickel, copper, right? You dig out from the earth and you put it through a very rigorous process of purification, and you get the copper outside. Very valuable things can get outside. So we are also going through this sort of process where we have come. We are like industrial diamonds, right? Which may look like a stone on the side of the road, but each one here sitting in this room is like industrial diamond. As we go through the process which Prabhupada has given to all of us, we will gradually start shining. We will see that transformation and we will become beautiful. And that diamond will be fit to sit in the ring of Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Right? That is the whole process. We are all going to get transformed. Now, we get transformed because we are all worshipping Krishna. Our Ishtadev is Krishna. Now, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Everyone agrees with that? What are the qualities of Krishna? Krishna is all attractive, all merciful, all. Anybody can say it. Let's all say it. We are all Krishna Bhakta. We should be doing more about now. All powerful, all beautiful, all knowledgeable. Mataji's all what? All renounced. All of this is still renounced. All wealthy, right? So Krishna is all this and even more, right? We can never reach even an end to Krishna's glories, right? They say even if we can make the oceans into ink, and all the trees convert into paper and write, still you cannot reach the end of Krishna's glories. That's how great Krishna is. Now when Krishna, let's take a reference from a beautiful sloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 3rd canto, 16th verse, text number 9. That you may have, those who have read the Bhagavatam will remember. This is from the chapter of the 4 Kumaras getting cursed. Now, Krishna is telling all that we said about Krishna. I said, so when he sits and analyzes how I have become so great, how I have become so great, right? Uska secret kya hai? So Krishna gives a beautiful statement. I need to take this. This table is small. Yeah. My lotus feet have become so sacred. Please hear carefully. This is Krishna's very frank admittance of what is the secret of his unlimited glory. Unlimited glory. My lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all the sins. The phrase used in the sloka is Kshata Akhila Malam. Kshata means immediately. Akhila means completely. Malam means all the impurity. Kshata Akhila Malam. Because why do I have the power to eliminate all the sins of the people who serve me? Because I am the servitor of my devotees. Doesn't it sound astounding what Krishna is saying? Right?
Why is he great?
Krishna is giving entire credit of his unlimited glory to whom?
Devotees.
He's not keeping glory to himself. I am great because I'm God, you see, I have to be great. What can you do about it? I'm naturally great. But Krishna is genuinely saying, Krishna cannot fake humility. Krishna is the source of everything, source of humility as well, right? Krishna is saying, my glory is because I serve my devotees, right? And therefore, the Lord says that the Lord feels that all his transcendental glories have increased because he is always eager, always anxious, always planning, always thinking, right? His mind is completely occupied at all times in thinking how to serve, how to help, how to assist his devotees. That's the type of God you and I are worshipping. He's constantly like a loving parent, right? All of you are parents over here. What is your constant anxiety when you're in your job? Think about your children, right? Is there some time you can forget? Let me forget about my children. You cannot. Even if you want to forget, you cannot forget, right? They occupy the center core of your heart. Similarly, Krishna says, sadhunam hridayam mayam. Sadhunam hridayam to aham. Madanyad tena janati naham tebhyo manami. Right? I do not know anybody in the world except my devotees. That is Krishna's wonderful statement. So, the point we are driving is, if Krishna is so very eager to serve his devotees, how much eager we should be to serve his devotees. If Krishna is 24/7 thinking of the welfare of his devotees, how much we should be looking forward to opportunities to serve those people who Krishna himself is so eager to serve. Right? That is the whole point. Therefore, the key words, like there are so many words in the dictionary. I don't know how many words are there in Oxford Dictionary, maybe several thousands, maybe there. However, in the vocabulary of a Vaishnava, in the vocabulary of all of us as practicing, aspiring devotees, the key words which could dominate our consciousness is words like servitor, servant, kinkara, and the most beautiful word is, of course, seva. Can there be a more beautiful word than the word seva? Not possible. The most beautiful word in the word is seva. Because the greatest word in the word, the love, and the word in the which is glorified in the world is love. And true love is always expressed through Sustadeva, right? So wherever there is love, there has to be seva. Wherever there is seva, there is genuine love, right?
So sometimes in Krishna consciousness we use this word in such a casual way, no? I'm a servant, Prabhu. I'm your servant, We use that word in such a casual way that sometimes it appears cheap also, and we don't even understand the meaning of it. Yeah, we don't understand the depth of it. So we thought, let us go a little deeper in the subject matter of what the Lord thinks makes him great, right? All of us want to become great, somehow or the other. We want to become great, or we want others to know whether I am great or no, but I want you should know that I am great. You should feel I am great, right? So that's the whole battle of ego that goes on in our life. So we want to understand that if this, what is making the Lord great is servitorship, then what is this servitorship which we are talking about? What are the essentials of servitorship? Right? What are the fundamental things in servitorship which we are talking about? So there is the definition given that what is the meaning of being a good servitor? What are the essentials of servitude? So the definition given is, becoming a good servant of the Lord is living a life of devotion, humility, and unshakable faith and commitment. Beautiful words, right? Each of the words, if you see, life of devotion, humility, unshakable faith, and commitment. Right? So these are the things which make a person a good servant. So we want to know now, what is the qualification? If you go for a job application, they will ask, what's your qualification? So I want to become a servant. So what is my qualification? What are the qualities required? Qualities qualify us to become something. Qualities qualify us to become something, whatever we want to become, right? So how do we understand what are the qualities? According to you, these might be the qualities. According to you, these might be the qualities. But we don't want to understand according to you and me. We want to understand according to the Lord. What is it that the Lord looks for in a servant, which according to him qualifies him to be a good servant, right? on his terms, not on my terms. Suppose I come to your house and say I want to feed you South Indian, I say I don't like coconut. No, but I like it, so I'm going to feed you that. Yeah? I like it, so I'm going to say I want to feed you pizza. I don't like cheese. No, but I am going to feed you because I like it like that. So is that service?
No.
That's why we want to understand what is according to the Lord, what is He looking for, not what I think. What is the importance of what I feel? Is there importance of what I feel? In the material world, yes. It's paramount importance. What I feel is the most important thing. In everything, whether it's in family life or job, boss will say, I am right because I'm boss. I feel it should be done like this. Right? Family, head of the family might say, I think it should be done like this. But what is the significance of it, of what we feel? What is pleasing to whom? The object of our service. What is pleasing to the object of our service? So the three beautiful truths in the world is what? Bhagavan, Bhakti and Bhakta. Three things we always talk about, right? Bhagavan, Bhakti and Bhakta. So we are trying to understand that object is whom?
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan. And we are whom? Bhakta. And our service is the Bhakti which we are going to offer to the Lord. So what is the qualities according to the Lord that He thinks will qualify us? Right? So this is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in a beautiful section where Mahaprabhu, we all know Mahaprabhu went to South India Yatra, and who accompanied him? South India Yatra.
Gopala.
Kala Krishna Das went, right? And he was also his personal servant. He went, and we all, those of us who have read Chaitanya Charitamrita, we know that what happened to him. He got allured, he got distracted, and he left even though he was with the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he still got distracted and left the seva of the Lord and went away. So Lord did not say anything till the trip got over, but as soon as he returned, he said, I don't want such a servant. I don't want such a servant. Right? So then next time when he was going to Vrindavan, again the devotees said that somebody has to come with you. So Nityan Prabhu said, I will come with you. Why? Because I have travelled through all the holy places all over. I know everything. I can guide you the best. So Mahaprabhu said no. So the senior closest devotee said, I would like to come. So Mahaprabhu said, I cannot take anybody. I cannot take Nityan Prabhu. I cannot take Mukunda Datta because he is so soft-hearted. If I do any austerities, his heart is pained. And he will not tell me anything on my face. There are some people who tell you on the face. But some people, they will keep quiet, but they will make such a face and pained that you understand. Your face is the index of the mind. So he said, I cannot take Mukunda because seeing me doing austerities, he appears so pained that I also become pained. So I cannot take him. Jagadanand Pandit, I can never take him. Because he keeps chastising me. Why are you doing this? Sleep in soft beds and eat costly food, rich food and opulent food and apply massage oil and everything. So I cannot take any of these. So who will I take? He mentions himself.
So, we are going to hear some beautiful verses now, which are to be kept in our heart very closely. Because we are all aspiring to be servants. Jivara Swarup Hoy, Krishnara Nitya Das, right? That is the summum bonum of our life, right? At the end of our life, we want to realize that we are eternal servants. We are trying to serve, but we not realize we are still serving our indriyas and other things unwanted. We want to realize that we are eternal, loving servants of the most beautiful, lovable person, Sri Krishna. So, Mahaprabhu is telling the devotees who are around him, especially Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami, Nityan Prabhu, they are there around him. He says, Nutan Sangi Hebeka Snigdha Yandraman Aichaya Be Paeta Be Laeka Jan. He said, this is Mahaprabhu's requirement as to what should be the trait or the quality of the servant who will accompany him. He says, such a person must be a new person, Nutan Sangi. I don't want to take somebody who's my older devotees because they have preconceived ideas about what I should do and not do. Give me a Nutan Sangi, give me a new person, and he must have Snigdha Yara Man. Please take this word closely to your heart. Snigdha Yara Man. So you will ask the question, but what is the meaning of the word Snigdha? Such a person should have a peaceful mind. A peaceful mind. And the previous person, the previous servant who had accompanied him, Kalkrishna Das, was in a state of becoming agitated. When the Bhattaharis came, they are tantric sannyasis who had their own tantric ways, would send some beautiful girls to allure, and Kalkrishna was allured by these tantric girls who were used by the tantric sannyasis, and somehow he left the Lord's association and went to their camp. Right? Become one of them, started taking intoxication and was completely in a state of being illusioned. Right? So that means he had a mind which was potentially very agitated. Therefore, I want to have a person who is what? Who is peaceful, very peaceful. So, then as Mahaprabhu was putting forward his requirement, then Sarup Damodar Goswami says, okay, Sarup kahe, ei Bhalabhadra Bhattacharya, tomate susnigdha bada pandit sadhu arya. Right? So what he is saying, Sarup Damodar is telling is very, very wonderful. This is a very, very important verse. So my dear Lord, this person I am recommending to you, his name is what? Balabhadra. Everyone can say, his name is what? Previous one was who? So that person was a reject because he didn't fit the bug at all now. But now his name is Balabhadra Bhattacharya. And the person as great as Srila Damodar Goswami is singling out what is this qualification to be your servant during all these yatras to Vrindavan and other places. So he mentions 5 things. He says he is Susnigdha, he is Pandita, he is Sadhu, he is Arya, and he is already peaceful as you already said. So 5 qualities ultimately are singled out as requirements which the Lord looks forward in his servants. So we enumerate Snigdha, Susnigdha, Pandita, Sadhu, Arya. Okay? So, we are going to take this a little further, right? So, stay with the discussion, stay tuned into our other chain of thoughts, because this is going to draw us into deeper understanding as to what will make our service to the Lord most wonderful and pleasing to Him. When He has servants of this type, then the service they render is very, very, very pleasing to the Lord. So you mentioned the word snigdha. The word snigdha is like having a mind which is like a clear, beautiful pond. Right? A beautiful pond which is not agitated. If you look at the clear pond, it has got a crystal clear water. That means the mind is free from all ulterior motives. Many times in our service, many times our mind, we do service, but we have some ulterior motives. I should be appreciated, I should be welcomed, I should be having some, people should recognize me, people should know me, that I have done it, my name should be there, plaque should be there, whatever. We may have different, I should get credit for what I have done. So we often do seva, but we do seva with mixed desires, because we are right now what is called as mixed devotees. We are not pure devotees, right? So a peaceful mind means it is like a clear pond. We were at, about 2 years back, we were at a place called Shillong. We had gone for some medical work. My wife had also come, we both had gone. And then we went to a beautiful garden top on a mountain. And then from there, we could see Bangladesh just across, right? So that place is called Silet. He said, Dr. Sahab, aap hum leke jayenge. We will take you to a place called as a river called Dauki. Right? He said, what is great about this river? A river, so we have seen many rivers. River mein kya hai? No, sir, this is the cleanest river in the world. Right? Because if you see that river from the top, it is like glass. Right? If a boat is flying on the top of the river, you will see that it is like floating. You see from far. You just see that. And down below, you don't see anything. It's like hanging in the air. It is so crystal clear. The river is called as Dauki. That was the type of mind of Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Completely clear of all material desires. Right?
She was talking about the two key words in this snigdha is what?
Peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful. But what does a peaceful mind bring in a servitor? Depth and stability. If I want to be a servant, if I have constantly changing servants, like when Prabhupada was in Delhi, one time, our Hariswari Prabhu was temple president of Vrindavan, and he just came to meet Prabhupada at Delhi. And the person who was Prabhupada's masseur, he had to go somewhere. So then Harikesh Prabhu he was at that time, I think so, yeah. So he told that, hey Hariswari, you become Prabhupada's masseur for next 3 days while he's out. And you do. He said, I have never massaged, I don't know M of massage, you know. So he said, just you observe today how he's doing and then for 3 days you do. So this person just gave him some tips, okay, you do like this, like this, like this, and he went away. So then now he is alone with Prabhupada. We all might hanker to serve the spiritual master, but when you are alone, it's not easy. You will end up panicking and whatever. So it's too close to fire. So he came there and he started massaging. 5 minutes went good. After 5 minutes, the massage goes on for 1 hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. All his muscles cramped up. He couldn't continue because he had never massaged in his life, and he started praying to Krishna that Krishna, this is the first time I'm doing. Please loosen my muscles. I have to serve Guru Maharaj, And somehow the other it happened, and then he gave massage, and Prabhupada liked it. The way he did it, he liked it. Sorry. Second day he did, third day he did, and then that person was supposed to return. But Prabhupada was supposed to go to Kurukshetra from Delhi, and that devotee didn't come back. So Harikesh Prabhu said, 2 more days in Kurukshetra also you continue. When we come back to Delhi and come to Vrindavan, you can resume your service as temple president. So he went with the whole entourage to Kurukshetra. He did the massage there also, and when they came back to Delhi and they came to Vrindavan, then Harikesh Prabhu told the devotee who was going to come that now we can change, So Prabhupada said, this is Western mentality. You like to keep changing things. Don't change. He's doing good, keep him. He did not like change too much, right? So whenever there is sometimes we become servants, but we are like shooting stars. I want to do. But then after some time we feel bored of the seva, or we become inconsistent in whatever we are doing. But the Lord looks for consistency in seva, whatever we are doing. Keep doing consistently. What is the meaning of doing consistently? What is the meaning of doing it consistently?
Without failure. Doing the same thing regularly.
No, how does the Lord translate it? That means that you are valuing what you are doing. You understand the depth of the fortune you have got of doing it. Only then you can continue. Otherwise, if I don't realize the value of it, I take it and I leave it, right? And that means I am going deep into the service.
You like this?
Yeah, I like it, whether I like it or I don't like it also, but I am doing it because I know for whom I am doing, and I have to continue to do it. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that this quality is very important, and that can come only when a person is peaceful and non-agitated. Because agitation is what? At the drop of a hat for all of us. Something happens, we get agitated, Somebody does something, somebody says something, we get agitated. And the first thing you feel like doing is what? Give up the seva. Who wants to do all this jhamela? Right? We want to give it up and we want to be like that. But when I have a peaceful mind, I do not get agitated. I can have that absorbing capacity to do. And that is how Balabhadra Bhattacharya was. How many you are traveling with the Lord, and not that there is all arrangements to travel and facilities and tickets are booked or something like that, and you have a nice trolley wala bag which you are carrying around. Everything has to be carried on a basket and in the hand, and you don't know where the next stop is going to be, where you are going to eat, and where you are going to arrange for the Lord, not for yourself, but he was very peaceful, very calm. Sometimes you see servants, they are most hyper. I have to do this, I have to do this, phala, phala, phala. You become hyper, you make everybody hyper. But he was very well balanced and very peaceful person. That is why Mahaprabhu said, on the snigdha person. The second quality which he looks for is what? Susnigdha. And Prabhupada explains the meaning of susnigdha. What did he say? Extremely loving, caring, affectionate by nature. Gentle demeanor, very kind. Listen to all the words. Very kind, soft-hearted, emotionally warm, humble. Vinay. Vinay means humble, right? Sensitive, forgiving, and the most important thing is very conscious in his dealing with others. Only if a person is all of the above, he can be conscious in his dealings with others. If I'm not affectionate, if I'm not caring, I'm not sensitive, I care a damn for what you feel. What I feel is important. I don't care how you are going to feel, but a sensitive, loving, affectionate. So when the Lord is explaining what type of a servant is looking for, all these qualities. And Balabhadra Bhattacharya was all of this. In his travels, he took care of not only Lord Chaitanya's physical needs, his food, his stay, protection from crowds, because so many people would come to meet, Lord has come, so many crowds of people were coming. Closely, he used to even monitor the ecstasies of the Lord. Lord would go into ecstasy, he was going to Vrindavan. So he would go into ecstasy, and sometimes he would get lost in divine love. He would completely get lost over there. So at that time, he was so expert. He would very tactfully engage in talks or physical gestures to gently bring back Lord Chaitanya to external consciousness also. With his loving, sensitive nature, whatever he did, right? So a good servant, the key word for Susnigdha is what? Love beyond duty. One is that you could be a logistical servant. You take care of the logistics of everything, finance, money, stay, phala phala, all these things. So that is a logistical thing, you do out of duty. That's what. But when you do those logistics out of love, affection, care, that is love beyond duty, right? And that is the type of servant which he is looking for. Proactive, right? He's a proactive. So this is the foundation of loving service, right? He had deep spontaneous love, not out of duty or mechanically he was doing anything. And because he kept all these considerations, he was very, very conscious in his dealings with whoever he was dealing. Because he knew that I am not a person myself, but I represent Lord Chaitanya. I am his servant. So whatever way I will behave, the people are going to say, what type of servant he has brought? Is this the training Lord Chaitanya has given to him? Right? So he was very conscious. We always talk about, conscious eating, conscious whatever we do. But conscious in how we deal with other people, that is a very, very important quality of very essential quality of a servitor. Right? And if we all are trying to be good servitors, we have to be very conscious of what? Conscious of what? How my words, how my actions are going to impact the people, other servants and the people, the people, person who I'm serving and other servants around me. So it has to be a collective thing. We cannot isolate ourselves and think, okay, I have to do things like this, or however collectively what is best, that I have to be doing it for the Lord's Seva. Why? Because that's what the Lord is expecting. Not that's because I feel or you feel or what this one is saying or that one is saying. But this is the Lord's expectation. So this is such a foundational thing. Susnigdha. I mean, we are just going through things very fast because we do not have too much of time to discuss. But you go through each peaceful mind, snigdha, susnigdha, what it is. This is all food for thought. Huh? That go home and try to think about it deeper. Since we are also thinking, every time you think, there is a deeper level of understanding that you are getting. That, oh, this is what we are supposed to be. My God, sometimes we feel you are kilometers away from what is expected out of us. Right? So, why? Because why do we call these as core qualities? The synonyms which are given is what? These are essential, fundamental, innate traits. Okay? Inherent attributes, primary characteristics, central virtues, defining aspects, backbone values. See each of these words. Backbone values, cornerstone traits, pivotal key focal points, which a servitor needs to have. That's why we call what? Essentials. These are all very, very essential things. Now when we read this, we thought, my God, we always thought we are servitors or trying to be servants, but we never thought so deeply that this is all what it means to be a servitor.
So this is not enough. The qualities are even more deeper. There is more to it. So we said about snigdha, then we talked about susnigdha. What is the third one? Third one? Sadhu. Fourth? Pandita. Fifth is? Arya. Right? So at least we should not, till sort of the next few days we should remember this. So the third thing is sadhu. Right? Now when you say sadhu means sadhu you think is dadi wale, jatadhari, bhagwadhari, right? Hath mein trishul or whatever. Right? No, sir. This is external format of sadhu. You see a lot of Kumbh Mela mein aise sadhu log, Naga Babas and all that, a lot of sadhus are there like that. But in the Vaishnava parlance, in the Vaishnava vocabulary, this is not about externals of a sadhu, right? There could be a sadhu who has no dadi, no bhagwa, no jata, right? What are the sadhu? He is a very righteous person, a very virtuous person, right? And that is called as a sadhu. One who is very saintly in character, very saintly person, who is self-controlled and has no impulsive behavior. Ask ourselves how often we get impulsive. We become how many times we reflective behavior, and other is called as what? Reactive behavior. Most of the time what are we doing? We react. Something. Suddenly, our daggers are down. We are immediately ready to attack. When you say, how can you say that? Why did you say that? Right? We challenge people, we react, and we confront people, right? But a person who is more reflective, he will be able to digest that, and then with proper rumination, the right way, he will give the perfect response, right? That is a person that means a person is very saintly. He has no impulsive behavior. Right? So that is the meaning of being a person who is fixed in dharma and has no personal ambition. That is a saintly character. It's called as a sadhu. Right? The next. So he is a person who has got deep faith in Krishna and is trusting Krishna's plan in all circumstances and is Sharanagat. He is surrendered to the Lord. He trusts Krishna's plans. Things may not always go according to our plan, but he always knows that whatever is happening, there is a higher reality is governing my life. My life has been orchestrated by whom? By Krishna. The moment we enter the zone of Krishna's grace, until now, we were in the zone of the karmic zone. We only, our what life was guided exactly only by what is happening according to our pre-decided prarabdha or karma. The moment you and I make one step towards Krishna, we are coming to the control of the Lord's, not external, but the Lord's internal energy, called as the Krishna's personal Aladini Shakti, right? And then because we have taken baby steps towards Him, then whatever happens in our life thereafter is something which is ordained by Krishna's personal intervention. Because we are Devim Prakritim Ashrita. We are taking shelter of Krishna's internal potency. Right? So that the person who taken complete shelter of internal potency of the Lord is called a person who is called as a sadhu. Called as a sadhu.
That's why you sometimes say, no, sadhu, sadhu. Somebody speaks very well, no? You don't say, wah, wah, wah. That is Urdu word. Wah, wah, bolte na. But in Vaishnava, this thing we say sadhu, sadhu, you know. What a person. Our Devkinandan Prabhu is there in New York. Any Vaishnava he meets, he says, Are sadhu aa gaye. You know, that's his perception. How he sees sadhu. The fourth one is Arya. So many people have given their children name Aryan, Arya. Quite a generic name it has become. 3 Aryans in Cincinnati. They said Aryan T, Aryan D, different surnames Aryan. What is an Arya?
Culture.
Exactly. The word for sadhu is what? Pure and saintly person. And for Arya is what? Cultured. Very cultured and civilized type of person, a true gentleman. As Prabhupada would always say, a true gentleman. Advanced in spiritual consciousness, noble and honorable with refined character. No personal, very high moral character, no ulterior motives of projecting himself. Now, Balabhadra Bhattacharya was who? He was personal servant of Lord Chaitanya. Wherever he went, he could have said, move, I have come, I am who I am. Personal servant of Lord Chaitanya. He could have flaunted that, right? That you guys don't understand, I am personal servant, okay? I am saying it, you better do it. I understand Lord Chaitanya's mood, you don't. He could have said that, he could have done that, but a good servant always remains in the background. He's never projecting himself. And that's how Balabhadra Bhattacharya did. It's like sometimes somebody gave an example of a pujari on the altar. A pujari in the altar, the deities are there, na? So you are doing chamar to the deities. So the real pujari stands so inconspicuous in the corner and he is doing chamar to the Lord. But somebody who wants to show off, he will stand in the middle. 8 circles and 10 circles and like people should notice who's doing it, not for whom he is doing it, right? So we all have that tendency of projection. We like to be known to people that, I'm connected. Oh, I'm Dwarakadhish's wife. Otherwise, what is our significance? We want to become significant by being connected to that I am such and such person, Maharaj's personal servant, such and such person is there, and all his emails I only answer. I am able to do this, I am able to do that. We like to flaunt that. So what is Prabhupada trying to say over here? That a true gentleman and a real servitor of the Lord is who? Is who? Who tries to keep themselves very much in the background. Not that we are in the background that you don't do anything. During Yatra, one example I'm just remembering, during Yatra, there were some youngsters, who used to carry the sound system. And less people were there, on their shoulder and walk in the front. Slowly, as they matured and they got married and all, they started coming in the middle of the crowd. Then right behind, and then they started giving the sound system to somebody else. That, I should give a chance to somebody else to do the seva, like that. Now, why did I say this?
Serving in the background.
Yeah. So, come so much in the background that you don't do the seva only. That I have to be inconspicuous, means I don't do anything. No, you do everything and still remain in the background. That is the beauty. Not that you stop doing everything. Then then you are anyway in the background only, You're under the ground. Under the ground, right? So this is what the Lord is expecting us to be, that you do everything without a position. You do not want any name, fame, recognition or anything, but I am going to do all that is required out of me, what is expected out of me, with the same enthusiasm as if I was the responsible for the whole thing. But still I am not projecting myself. That is what is the quality which the Lord is looking for in His servants. So Balabhadra, a true gentleman, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, he maintained high standards of Vaishnava behavior. He means what? He respected everybody. On the tour, they must have met so many other saintly people also, right? Not that Lord Chaitanya was the sadhu, so everybody else was a riffraff person. In those days, there were so many sadhus. So Balabhadra Bhattacharya would understand and give due respect to the seniors, whomever they would meet, by being humble and serving the Lord serving them with dignity. And he was truly representing Lord Chaitanya. Means Prabhupada is mentioning that representing our spiritual path with dignity. Beautiful word Prabhupada uses. Representing your spiritual path with dignity. So that when people see us, they feel, oh, what institute are you attached to? Wow, this is what they teach you. Those people say, kahan se hai? What type of a person you are? Is this what they teach you there? There's no dignity in that. So a servitor has a moral responsibility to behave in such a way. It's not just by saying Jai Prabhupada that we glorify Prabhupada. Like one devotee was there, every time Prabhupada would pass by, he would say, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Then again Prabhupada was on a walk, again he would say, Prabhupada ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai. Third time when Prabhupada came and he was about to say, Prabhupada said, do something practical. He said, do something practical, So that is what is expected, that we represent, because if we are behaving in a particular way, right, if you are disrespectful to people, not only outsiders, insiders, if people feel disrespected, even amongst ourselves, if they feel disrespected, if they feel hurt, if they feel offended, then we have to 100% understand that the Lord cannot be happy with us and He will not treat us as a good servitor. Balabhadra Bhattacharya was particular about ensuring Lord Chaitanya's journey adhered to dharmic principles, maintaining spiritual purity and avoiding interactions with unqualified people. All this was his responsibility. And he had no ulterior motive. He avoided gossip. He was tolerant, forgiving, and he had strong gratitude muscles. He was all the time conscious that this is a merciful seva that has been given to him. And he had strong gratitude muscles. And that's what made him behave in all these ways. He didn't take it for granted that I've been 1 month. How long Mahaprabhu was there? For 1 or 2 months if you are there. First 5 days you are all excited, my seva. Then slowly, okay, God, I have to do this again, Then it becomes like a burden. But he could understand the blessing of having a seva in his life. He had strong gratitude muscles also. So this is what a Arya is, right? Again, we are just rushing through it.
And the last quality, also equally important as the other previous 4, is that he was a Pandit. The Pandit is an abused word, na? I remember when I was to buy sabji with my mother as a small child, Pandit ji, wo bhindi kitne ka diya? Right? So they would call the bhaiya also as Pandit. The poor guy has not gone to school, maybe he went to he 4th standard, but he becomes a Pandit, right? So this is not type of Pandit we are talking about. So the real Pandit which is being mentioned here is that he is well versed in the scriptures, correct? And he possesses deep convictions and the practical wisdom, how to apply that knowledge into our daily dealings in our daily life. That is Pandit. So it is not just enough to know and read the scriptures, but how to apply that wisdom, how to turn that gyan, right? Oftentimes we hear so many lectures, right? But you find that it doesn't really sometimes seem to change our behavior because we sometimes lack the knack of converting those lectures and the knowledge within those lectures into a practical mode and applying that, right? So that's very important. Hmm. So years and years pass by and say, "Arey, so ज़्यादा change नहीं हुआ, वैसे ही हुआ." The guy is still that only, right? So, but some people they apply and they make very rapid progress. So the whole point is that he had deep convictions and he could analyze deeply, and whatever problems came during his journey, he could analyze in the light of the scripture. So this is called as Shastra Chakshu. We see the world usually with our conditioned vision based on past experiences, purva karma, right? We see the world in a conditioned state. But actual devotee is a person who sees every event in his life, in somebody else's life, at the level of the world. He sees the world through the eye of the holy scriptures, right? That is called as Shastra. So, Chakshu means eyes. But what eyes? Eyes of the scripture. That means the scripture is telling us how to see everything. That's why they say lessons from the Ramayana, lessons from the Mahabharata. So we are reading Mahabharata. Everyone knows stories of Mahabharata. Ye hua, wo hua, so many things. But how to learn from the Mahabharata, that is important. Oh, Hanumanji went across the ocean, right? He went across the ocean and he went. There are so many obstacles he had. What does obstacle represent? How that knowledge? How we also, when we have obstacles, we must respond like Hanuman, right? So in this way, Pandit means learning how to apply scriptural knowledge into our daily lives and not become like parrots, right? Who just know some slokas, because so many people can narrate slokas, but he was not like that. He was somebody who had practical knowledge. Therefore, when we have these traits which we talked about today, then we can understand what is the value of this word called Das. When we take Diksha from the spiritual master in our society, we are called as Das and Devi Dasi, right? Dasi. We take it very cheaply. I am Dwarakadhish Das, but that word Das is a heavy loaded word, right? It is not it's not ordinary word. And only when I truly live a life as per these qualities do I really am doing justice to that word, Dwarakadhish Das, right? Or Ramatirth Das, correct? That's what is very, very important. So, the word Das is wonderful, but the next step of the word Das is not just Das, but Das
Anudas.
Dasanudas. There is a very wonderful thing which happened when the devotees had come to Jagannath Puri. As you know, people come from Kulinagram, Adi Saptagram, from Srikhanda, from Navadip. All of them would come for 4 months and stay with Lord Chaitanya for 4 months, right? And they would celebrate the Rath Yatra and various festivals. After 4 months are over, they would be bidding farewell and go back. So this particular year, one devotee, one Vaishnava from Kulinagram asked, "My dear Lord, I am going back, come to bid farewell to you. But after going back, what is my kartavya now? What is my sadhana? Right? What should be done? I had participated in the kirtans and all the wonderful festivities here in Jagannath Puri. But now that I'm going back, I want to know what is my kartavya and what is my sadhana." Right? So some very beautiful verse has emanated from the Sri Mukha of Lord Chaitanya. Something which is very relevant to all of us. Right? Prabhu kahe, Vaishnav Seva Naam Sankirtan Dui kara shigra pabe Shri Krishna charan. Let's repeat these nice words, right? So the devotee is asking, what is my sadhana and what is my kartavya? Something which you all would like to know. Mera sadhana kartavya kya hai bhai? It is also any servant would like to know. Prabhu ka hai. See, please repeat. Prabhu ka hai. वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
दुई कर शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण.
श्री कृष्ण चरण.
Right? So this verse is giving us the crystallized essence of two activities which should become the most important activities of our life. Most important activities of our life. Yes, we want to responsibly do our duties as a family person, as a mother, as a wife, as an employee for company, all that is there. But simultaneously, the most important activities we have to do is two. Therefore, when we are told the Yuga Dharma is, what is Yuga Dharma of this age? Chanting Hare Krishna, right? Hare Nam Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva Nasteva. So everyone knows in ISKCON that the Yuga Dharma is given by the Lord in the scriptures, promoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very, very powerfully, and by the Goswamis and by the Acharyas down the line, is Nam Sankirtan. However, Bhakti Sasri Thakur, taking deeper analysis of the scripture, said there is not one, but there are two Yuga Dharmas in the age of Kali Yuga. One of them is chanting Hare Krishna. The second one is serving the Lord's devotees. As Mahaprabhu has spelled out his verse, Dui Kara, both are essential, right? Because when we serve Krishna's devotee, we don't forget the beginning of the discussion that the Lord's greatness he attributed to why? Because he is serving his devotees, right? So when we serve those people, those personalities who are very dear to the Lord, Krishna is very, 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 very pleased. Right? Like they say in English, there's a saying, I think in America they say, love me, love my dog. If you go to somebody's house and you say, hello, how are you, wonderful, you embrace them and the dog starts coming to say, Dad! You do that to the dog and that fellow will completely, you dare deal with my dog like this? But you say, hello, cuckoo. How are you, Leo? Wonderful, wonderful. Say, he loves my dog. So I love him also. Right? It is natural psychology. Right? So, Krishna loves his devotees. So if you love those people and serve those people whom Krishna loves, Krishna is very pleased. What does Krishna do when he is pleased with you? He gives you the association of his sincere, pure devotees, number one. He will bless you with seva. And the third thing he will do is, he will manifest himself in your heart when you chant his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. These are the three things will happen when Krishna is pleased with you. Please remember. Number one, what will happen? He will give you association of his sincere devotees, pure devotees, sincere devotees. That is his gift, right? See, it is not, when generally the karma kandi process, in India, most of religion is karma kandi. When you say, you get a good job, Krishna has given me a good job. You have to marry a nice wife, Hare Krishna has given a nice wife, nice children, good money, good health. So when you get a lot of self-gratification, when things go according to you, the way you want, said the Krishna is a very good God. It doesn't come, Krishna ko baji par rakho, we go to whom? Sai Baba. Sai Baba nahi ho raha, we go to some Hanumanji. Go to Shani. You keep on shifting till they give you what?
What you want.
You want. That's used. Therefore, in most Hindu temples, they have 15 types of gods. ये नहीं हुआ तो वहाँ पे नंबर लगाओ, नहीं नंबर लगा तो वहाँ पे नंबर लगाओ. जहाँ नंबर लग गया अपना उधर अपना वो अपना भगवान. बराबर है. So that is the typical Hindu wala temples. In our temples, we have Gaur Nitai, Jagannath, Krishna. All Krishnas only there, right? Sai Gaur, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. Right? We don't have so many things because we have only Ekanishta Bhakti. Right? So when Krishna is pleased, he will give you association of his devotees. Number one, he will bless you with service. And third, and most wonderfully, when you chant Krishna's name, you won't feel sleepy. You will be relishing. You won't feel like keeping your bead bag. 16 mal ho gaya, abhi to bus crore ho gaya. You will feel, why don't I chant today 17 rounds? Today Prabhupada said, chant 16 rounds, minimum he would say. Right? You feel like chanting more, serving more, hearing more. These are all traits. When you love somebody, you want to hear about him, right? You can't stop talking. My wife, no, she's like this. My dog is like this. My child, is like. When you love somebody, you want to always talk about that person. When you love Krishna, you can't stop talking about him, thinking about him, reading about him, hearing about him, serving him. Right? These are the things which will happen when you start pleasing Krishna by serving his dear devotees.
We'll end part 1 of the seminar today. So we'll take tomorrow.
Yeah. So, Mahaprabhu was recommended serving Krishna's devotees, the Sanudas philosophy. But it wasn't the first time that this was coming in our scripture. Years ago, there's a great king in South India called as Maharaj Kulashekara. How many of you heard his name, Kulashekara Maharaj? Yeah, he did a very wonderful scripture called as Mukund Mala Stotra. Each and every verse was like a flower, right? And the flower-like verses, he put it in the string of beautiful words, right? And that string of verses he wanted to offer to the Lord, who's Mukunda. Mukunda means, of course, Sri Vishnu. So in that particular